Can you hear me? Can't hear you.
Okay, how about now? Okay, perfect. Okay, so this is, let's see. I'm not getting the green banner. Oh, I'm standing in front of the green banner. Maybe that's why. Okay, guys. Okay, so we've got the command center going. Got everyone. See our panelists here, participants, attendees. Perfect. Amy's on as a panelist. All right, everyone. We're just letting everyone kind of filter in here.
You want to throw me on?
Yeah. I'm going to add Jeremy.
I'm not even.
Okay.
I'm just kind of like.
Nice to meet you, Amy. I'm Kimberly.
Good morning. Good morning. Good afternoon.
Good morning, LA.
Wherever we are.
Good.
Yeah.
Zoom recording, projecting the slides.
Hello, Monique. Clint, Amy. Kimberly, I'm Jane.
Hey, Jane. Nice to meet you.
Nice meeting you.
Here we go. We can officially begin. All right, everyone. Welcome to Small Batch Big Ideas, our pitch competition brought to you in partnership between Mitsubishi Motors North America and the Nashville Entrepreneur Center. I'll be your host today, but before we get going, I want to hand it off to our CEO, Jane Allen.
Hello, 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 and happy Friday to everyone. Welcome to Small Batch Big Ideas, a pitch competition that the EC is so honored to bring in partnership with Mitsubishi Motors. Supporting entrepreneurship is a team sport. We talked about this on Monday in our staff meeting. It really is, and I do believe it's so important for the entrepreneurial community and the business community to be connected. But it takes organizations like the EC, it takes businesses like Mitsubishi, it takes investors, lawyers, volunteers, a lot of different people that all come together, and that's what you're witnessing today. So thank you. I do believe it's really exciting that we are able to partner with Mitsubishi. And just so most of you, if not all of you, know, but I want to reiterate, we are excited Mitsubishi is moving to Middle Tennessee. And as a part of that, they're opening their North America headquarters down in Franklin. And we are thrilled that one of their priorities as they make this move is to get to go Nashville small business and entrepreneurial community. They put out a call to entrepreneurs who represent the concept of small batch, big ideas across 13 counties that make up the Nashville regional area. Makers, artisans, creatives, and technologists who are striving towards a big vision. Whether you're a cookie company or a tech startup, the 10 companies that you all are going to see today represent exactly that spirit. And we know you're going to be excited and to see for what they have to show you. Lastly, we couldn't do it without our judges. And we are so honored to have them here. Clint, one of our board members, founder of Emma, Clint Smith, Manit Chauhan, who I've had the privilege of getting to know, and so inspired by her, the president, founder of Morph Hospitality Group, a TV personality, a restaurateur, and an author. Amy Tanksley, again, years ago, we spoke on a panel together and have been delighted to get reacquainted with since I came to the EC. The owner and founder of Uncle Classic Barbershop, and Kim Gardner, VP and CMO of Mitsubishi Motors North America, who we are just getting to know, and I personally am just getting to know. And we are so honored and delighted. I'm gonna let us get started. Bryn, back over to you, girl.
Thank you, Jane. Jane actually has been in her seat at the Nashville Entrepreneur Center for 1 year as of this week. So a round of applause to Jane Allen. It means something to have an entrepreneur leading an entrepreneurial organization. And we're so grateful to have you here. And you have done more in this year than I think anyone could ever expect or anticipate. And I know you're just going to continue to do more and more amazing things. So thank you, Jane. All right. Of course, yes. I'm Bryn Plummer. I'm your host for this next hour and some change. We've got a crazy setup here, so this is a makeshift broadcast studio. I'll be your host for the next hour and some change, along with our friends at Mitsubishi, some of our staff members and our selection committee. I was able to read and watch a lot of these submissions, and so I'm delighted to see the 10 that we've assembled here for you today. If you've never been to a pitch comp, before we get to that actually, again, just to reiterate what Jane shared, we have 4 phenomenal judges today. Clint Smith, the founder of Emma, which many of you may recognize or remember their icon from back in the day, one of the iconic Nashville startups, email marketing tech startup that went huge and now has been acquired by Campaign Monitor. Manit Chauhan, who is a restaurateur. I'm sure you have been to one of Manit's restaurants if you're at all plugged into the culinary scene in Nashville. Amy Tanksley, the founder and owner of Uncle Classic Barbershop, and then Kimberly Gardner, who we've worked with a ton over the past few months as we've grown our Mitsubishi partnership. And Kimberly is someone that we look to as a leader and can explain to us why she relocated and was part of relocating to Nashville. So we're grateful to have her on as well. Judges, great to have you. How's everybody doing today? Clint, how are you?
Doing great, Brian. Thanks. Happy to be here.
Yes, we're glad to have you. Clint is also an entrepreneur in residence for our in-flight program, which there's a sign just behind me for in-flight. So we'll talk to Clint about that a little later on. Manit, how are you doing? Where are you at?
I am actually here in Nashville, and I'm really, really excited to be hearing the pitches. It's going to be fun.
We're glad you're here too. And I'm just really grateful that you're spending your time with us. I know you're a busy, busy woman, and we do not take it for granted that you're able to spend time with us. So thank you for being here for sure.
Thank you.
Of course. And Amy, how are you doing?
I'm great. Happy Friday.
Happy Friday. Happy Friday. We're glad that you're here and spending your Friday with us. And then last but not least, Kimberly, how is it going on your end?
Hello. Thrilled to be here. And thanks also to all the judges. It's going to be a fantastic event. So thank you guys.
Thank you all so much. Thank you so much. All right. A couple things about how this pitch competition works. If you have never been to a pitch competition, they can run the gamut. Some of them are 3 minutes, 5 minutes, 1 minute. If you've seen Shark Tank, you probably get the idea a little bit. Each entrepreneur will have 1 minute to pitch today. They will be delivering what's known as an elevator pitch. So imagine if you met Manit or Kimberly or Clint or Amy in an elevator and you had that 1 minute from floor 1 to floor 20 to really impress them and blow them away with your idea. That's the idea of an elevator pitch. No slides, no visual aids, no nothing. It's you, your ideas, and the passion that you bring to the table as an entrepreneur. Then our 4 panelists, our judges, will have 2 minutes to ask questions of our startups. They will ask them questions about how the idea works, what gave them the idea, their business model, kind of whatever questions that they have as they finish watching that minute pitch. And then we have an audience vote at the end that you will be part of. You will be helping us select a winner. To that end, we have a couple prizes today that we're really excited to announce. Of these 10 pitching companies, 5 will be chosen to be part of Mitsubishi's Small Batch Big Ideas Network for 1 year. This is exclusive access to Mitsubishi, very focused on retail, transportation, innovation, global solutions, and global strategies. And I don't think I have to say that this is a very vaulted and vaunted opportunity for any startup or small business. Like, it's the opportunity to be part of that network. The top scorer gets a 6-month lease of a brand new Mitsubishi Eclipse, which I'm pretty excited about that. That was my dream car as a child. And now that there's a new one, I think I have a new dream car, fully redesigned one. And then an audience favorite, again, that's what you all as audience members will get to vote on. We'll get a $1,500 EC scholarship. So, I mean, there's going to be a lot of winners today. They're already winners by kind of offering themselves up and putting themselves in front of the community like this. So please do take every pitch you hear and think about which one is getting you most excited, because you will help the most exciting pitch win an award.
Hey, Bryn, just a quick note, the Eclipse, it's actually the Eclipse Cross, which is our CUV. So just so everyone knows. Yeah.
I feel like that's even more Nashville, you know?
Yeah,
they
definitely.
Here.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of what sporty things people like to do that would require equipment that would go into a crossover. Can you think of any hiking? Do you need gear for hiking?
Yeah, absolutely.
Holiday
Goes
shopping
all
to
over.
fit all your bags in the back for sure. Absolutely. All right, we are ready for our first pitch. Are you all ready? I feel ready. Jeremy's ready. Jeremy's on. John Murdoch is also here. He's ready. All right, we've got our first pitch. We've got our panelists on. Let me make sure they are here. All right. We have got Jessica and Zoe Antel. Jessica, Zoe, are you on?
We are.
Perfect. All right, Jessica, Zoe, are you all seeing them? Perfect. All right, your minute begins now.
Hi, my name is Jessica Kaplan. And I'm Zoe Antel, and we are the co-founders of Ready Dress Go, a professional attire brand that revolutionizes the way young women get dressed to enter the workplace. As a Vanderbilt freshman who had just joined a business fraternity, my partner and I personally experienced difficulty trying to find professional attire that was comfortable, affordable, and fashionable, and we knew we couldn't be the only ones. So we created an e-retail platform that provides young, aspiring businesswomen with work attire that is fashionable yet professional, comfortable but still bold, all without breaking the bank. Also, our brand is so much more than just our products. Once our customers make their first purchase from Ready Dress Go, they receive an invitation to join the boardroom, a platform consisting of exclusive content written for women and access to a community of like-minded individuals entering the workplace. To date, we have secured 3 grants which have funded our creation of 2 rounds of samples for our capsule collection. Winning small batch big ideas will further support Ready Dress Go in revolutionizing business attire and inspiring confidence and authenticity in businesswomen as they get dressed every single morning. Thank you.
Zoe and Jessica, congratulations. Ready Dress Go is such an amazing idea. I think when we saw your pitch, we talked a lot about how, you know, at 22 or 23, and I had to find my first business suit to go to a big interview, I felt like there was not an option that didn't immediately make me look like an assistant principal. So appreciate you guys so much. You both were starting this. And they're going first. For the rest of the pitches, we'll go alphabetical, but we wanted Zoe and Jessica to go first because they have to get to class. They're Vanderbilt students. So they did not want them to miss class. Judges, I'm going to hand it off to you to ask your questions. You have 2 minutes. You may begin.
All right, I'll jump in real quick. It's an easy one, I think. So hi, I'm Kimberly from Mitsubishi. We're the ones with the small batch kind of big ideas thing. So what about this do you think really makes this a small batch idea? You know, if the idea is small batches, how does something small maybe make a bigger impact? So I'm curious what your thought is on that.
Yeah, I think both of our roles as students and really starting this through an experience on campus has made this something that started really small, but we see how the potential can be so much greater. And as college women wanting to impact other women in our same age demographic or just starting off in the business world, that's how we see that we can make this into a bigger idea.
I also want to say that it's such a niche market, being that it's women, young women who are entering the workforce. Obviously, that's just not really a market that's being targeted right now in terms of business attire. But that said, it being a niche market, that doesn't make it a small market, which is why we love it so much and why we think that it could have that really big impact that you were talking about.
Great, thank you.
Hey, Jessica and Zoe, this is Clint. Great idea. As you think about going from that initial footprint to something much bigger with greater impact, how do you see that rollout working from, you know, Vanderbilt and Nashville to a much larger geographic?
For sure. So there are over 5,300 college campuses in the US. While we're only at Vanderbilt, our program, whether that's, you know, from giving actual professional attire and selling it to our boardroom content, that can expand from just the Vanderbilt campus to so many other schools around the country and even beyond that. So I think that from this, we're right now in our phase 0, which is where we're doing a small order, and it's almost a test phase where we're going to sell that first manufacturing order of products, and then from there expanding beyond. So that's how we see that going in the future.
Great, thanks. Love phase 0. Love it.
Jessica and Zoe, hi, this is Maneet here. Love the idea, but what I love more is the enthusiasm and conviction that you guys have behind this idea. I have 2 questions for you. One is, at the present moment, what platform are you using to sell this, to pitch this? Mm-hmm. And what is your average price point?
Yeah, so to answer your first question, currently we have a website. It's ready-dress-go.com if anyone wants to check it out. And this is sort of serving as our launch page as of now. So we're actually launching in our collection and starting to sell in the spring. And so from there, we'll use the same website as well as social media platforms to sell our products.
And what is the average price point?
Yes, so our blazer is going to sell for about $130, the pants at under $100, and the top at around $50 or $60.
And I'm actually wearing our first round of samples. So this blazer and this top are like our first prototypes of our capsule collection.
Awesome, thank you.
Fantastic, Zoe, Jessica, thank you both so much. Congratulations, and
Thank
love
you.
the look of that blazer. We hope you all enjoy class and stay safe for the rest of the semester.
We
right?
really appreciate it.
Thank
Thank you
you.
so
Of
much.
course, absolutely, great work.
Hi.
All right, I'm going to bring up our next panelist. We have Annette McNamara, who will be joining us from Beautiful Strength. All right, Annette, are you on?
Yes. Is it
All
coming?
right, there you are, perfect. All right, Annette, you have 1 minute to share about Beautiful Strength. Take it away.
All right. Hello, my name is Annette McNamara, and I'm the founder of the nonprofit Beautiful Strength. As a professional photographer, I noticed a trend that people have stopped accepting themselves as they are. We are becoming more of a divided society, a Photoshop edit society, and we obsess over the highlight reel that's not necessarily reality. We're arguing online and losing focus but there's always a human with feelings behind each face, and we're more alike than different. So I wanted to be part of the solution and promote inclusion, diversity, and acceptance. Beautiful Strength started in 2018, and it's an ongoing phototherapy and empowerment project that has included over 400 participants and is to celebrate the resilience of the human spirit through the power of conversation and photography. And our vision is to unite and change the world one story and one photograph at a time. I also purchased a 35-foot school bus named Atticus that I'm actively converting into a tiny home and studio to make this project mobile and even more accessible to the stories that I know are out there, both in and around Nashville and around the United States. It will also double as a mobile gallery to display these images. So we are a very small nonprofit, but we have huge hearts and we are growing our community every day, and we would love for you to join us.
Annette, great pitch. Thank you so much for sharing. 2 minutes to our judging panel to ask Annette questions, particularly about Atticus, because that sounds awesome. Take it away.
So cool.
Hi, this is Amy. How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I am great. I'm hoping you can tell me a story, maybe about someone that you've already photographed.
Oh gosh. So many. I have one that's really pretty significant. On February 26th, I do believe, I got a phone call in the morning at 6:30 by a woman asking me if I could put her husband into our project. He was a stage 4 kidney failure. And by 9 o'clock, he came over in my living room of my apartment. We photographed him, put him on the podcast. And within 24 hours, we found a donor for him that was in Arizona. And August 11th, they came and had their transplant at Vanderbilt. So he's, it's just an incredible story that we were like a super small part of, but we were kind of the connector for it. That was pretty cool. I have more, but that's one.
Thank you. That was really special.
Yeah.
Hey, no, this is Kimberly. Hi. Love it. I think this idea, the small batch, big impact. So do you see this as something that can be maybe replicated by others? I mean, how critical was the bus? Because it sounds like, getting a bus, maybe not that easy for some people, but the idea itself feels very much like it could be something that others can do pretty easily.
Yes, that's one of the reasons I made it as a nonprofit. I want it to be something that continues on even after I die. I want this to be like something that is not just a me thing, it's a big thing. That's why I use language like we. This started from just one photo of myself, and I started telling friends about it, and it grew into the very first photo shoot was 85 people wanted to do it. And then now over the course of 2 years, it's 400 people. So eventually I have something very unique that people want to tell me their stories, but this takes a crew to do. Like it's not a big crew, but it's like, it's one story at a time. And I'm just kind of the catalyst for making that happen. So the bus is a huge thing. Luckily for quarantine, COVID totally stunk, but for me, it gave me 3 months to sit and build this bus, and it's about 75% done. It's incredible. Like, it is literally the coolest thing I've ever done. And absolutely, I want this to be huge. Did that answer your question?
That's great, and what a powerful story. So Annette, as you imagine this being sort of as big as it possibly can be, and maybe bigger than here and bigger than you, what's your dream goal for this, right? When you say, boy, I can't imagine we accomplished X with this.
I think my ultimate dream goal is just to make it a legacy of something that is a recognizable brand, worldwide recognizable, and that people want to be a part of it, that we are so overwhelmed with stories that we can't even get to them all, which is actually already at a level that I'm at. So, but I really feel like the moment that it's like, I know that. And it's already starting that around Nashville. Like, I've already been on the news. I've already been, I just did an event last night for breast cancer. We raised $600. So it's already getting noticed around our area. I have family that I took the bus to in Iowa. So like, I got in the newspaper in Iowa, small town newspaper. It was still a really big deal to me. Going to Florida, like, I've already have these trips planned. And then I have 3 different shoots that are around Nashville. One is with veterans in November. Another one is with Hope Kids, which are children with terminal illness. And then I'm doing another breast cancer event as well. So it's already has this momentum going. So I really think I've worked on it for 2 years. I can only imagine what it's going to be like in 5.
That's great. And, cracking Iowa, I mean, that's it, right?
Right? That's a big.
Yeah, exactly. If you can win there, I think you're clearly onto something. Thanks.
Exactly.
Fantastic, Annette. Thank you so much. And I've seen your portraiture.
Thanks for having me on.
Oh, absolutely. Yes. Unbelievable work.
Yeah.
Beautiful work and beautiful storytelling. So
congratulations
and thank you. All right, let's bring up our next panelist. We have got, let's see, Zoom share from current slide. Forgive me, y'all, you're seeing some back end here. We've got Stephen Berman from Empower Local. Stephen, are you on?
Yes, I'm here.
Hi, Stephen.
Coming through. Hello.
Also, Small Worlds. This is a note of how small Nashville is. I follow a realtor, and yesterday Stephen was letting me know that he was in the middle of a move. And I follow a realtor on Instagram, and this realtor posted a photo of you and your wife moving into your new home.
Wow.
And so just full circle, just someone random, and this is just the power of Nashville and being in a small place, right? Well, Stephen, we're really excited for you too. In the midst of your move, in the midst of your new home and all those things, we are so grateful you gave us your time to share about Empower Local. Your minute is ready when you are, so let me know when you're ready.
All right, I'm ready.
Take it away.
So I'm Stephen Berman with Empower Local. We are a new platform that helps top brands connect more authentically and efficiently with local audiences. Today's local media landscape, it's highly fragmented and dominated by thousands of smaller, hyper-local publications. They're utilizing WordPress and email newsletters like what Clint built, social media channels to reach their audiences in a very organic manner at the local level. Now, the problem is large brands don't have a scalable, efficient way to partner with these small local outlets. And that's a shame because on average, they're more engaging than national media. They have higher levels of trust and influence because they're closer to home, where people live. And that's ultimately where most buying decisions are being made. Empower Local's platform makes it possible to organize highly targeted, multi-local campaigns that are leveraging the unique influence of trusted local publishers and ultimately allowing brands to connect with audiences in a more contextual and locally relevant way. We currently have over 400 publications in our network. That's just 2 years in operation. We're partnering with several amazing brands, expected to exceed our goal of $1 million in revenue this year, and recently launched Tennessee invested in us, which is helping us spur on growth as we approach 2021. We'd be delighted to join this small batch cohort. Like Mitsubishi, we believe big things often happen in small batches. Thanks.
Stephen, great pitch, great pitch. And we've got 2 minutes. And congratulations on your investment from Launch Tennessee. That's a really big deal. Congratulations. All right.
Thanks.
Judges, panelists, we've got 2 minutes on the clock for you all to ask Stephen your questions.
Stephen, congratulations. First of all, congratulations to the move to your new house. That's amazing.
Thank you.
Can you share with us an example of how you mobilized a top brand?
Sure. Yeah, so one great example would be helping Gatorade to deploy a loyalty program by tying it to high school football media. Now, 10 years ago, high school football was covered by the big local outlets. It was a lot easier to run national campaigns like that. But today, as the newsrooms are shrinking, you have small hyper-local publishers who are covering Johnny's touchdown on Friday night. So by organizing these high-impact local channels, we were able to expand the engagement with that loyalty program by 10x in 4 months.
Fantastic. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Hey, Stephen, this is Clint. Good to see you again.
Hey, Clint.
So you've got 400 publications working with you now. That's great. Where do you see that in, say, a year? What's your reach at that point?
We're adding 20 a week. That's our pace right now, and so we're finding there's some great groups out there, family-owned groups that have hyper-local media and sort of regions of the U.S. We found that as kind of a quick way to jump up 60 or 70 publications at a time. But a year from now, we expect to be close to 1,000 or more publications. Again, there's a litmus test, so we are curating. It's not just everybody. It's the high quality, most impactful, relevant, engaging media across the U.S.
Makes sense. Thanks.
Hey, Stephen, it's Kimberly from Mitsubishi. How's it going?
Going well. Hi, Kimberly.
Good, good. Hey, just a quick question. So when you thought of this idea, like what mission did you want to be on? Like what prompted the big idea, so to speak? Yeah.
Well, empowering local community, empowering local publishers is very important. That's the mission underlying all of this. I do have a background in media technology. I founded a company called Wanna-Do that sought to make it easier for everybody to connect to the things that are important to them locally, to connect communities as a consumer-facing app. I actually launched that with Jumpstart Foundry a few years back. And so this tie into local community and utilizing technology to lift communities is part of my DNA at this point. Also got some exposure to how leveraging technology deployed through media partnerships could be highly effective, and realized that that was the most scalable way to implement something like this. That was the birth of Empower Local, from learning the hard way in some cases. And we founded the company in 2018 through a merger with a media agency that focuses on hyperlocal. So we brought a lot of talent and experience to bear to kick things off pretty quickly about 2 years ago.
Cool. Thanks.
All right, Stephen, thank you, judges, for your questions. Stephen, congratulations on the move. Congratulations on the investment. Everything is coming up Stephen Berman right now. And wonderful pitch. And thank you so much for being on to share it with us. This is such a unique problem in a Nashville market that is super hyper local and very focused on buying locally. It makes total sense why this could emerge right here. So thank you.
Thank you, Bryn.
All right, bringing up our next presenter, we have Julia Zay with Enunciate. Once Julia's on, we will make sure that she's good to go.
Hello.
Julia, there you are. All right, yay. Julia Zay is here. Julia Zay is the founder and CEO of Enunciate. Julia, you have 1 minute to tell us about Enunciate. You may begin.
All right. My name is Julia Zay. I am a speech language pathologist. I'm also the founder and CEO of Enunciate. Have you ever called a company, got transferred to an overseas call center, and then felt frustrated because you couldn't understand everything the individual was saying? But how do you think the agent felt also? Enunciate helps facilitate exceptional global conversations through a web-based application that teaches users how to speak English with improved pronunciation and clarity. So we currently have our first beta users that are testing our B2C program, with plans for a B2b program coming up, focusing on the the overseas call center industry, as well as offshore facilities. So you may be asking, well, what on earth does Enunciate have to do with the international automotive industry? Well, first, Enunciate helps facilitate improvement in communication between international teams. And second, Enunciate is poised to improve the safety of autonomous vehicle systems or self-driving cars that rely on clear communications with their passengers and drivers. Thank you.
Julia, thank you so much. Love Enunciate, and your background as a speech language pathologist makes total sense why this would be where your head went as your startup. We have 2 minutes for our judges to ask you questions about Enunciate. Judges, the floor is yours.
Julia, this is Amy. How are you?
Hi, Amy. I'm great. How are you?
I am great. Yeah, I actually had this experience earlier this week with one of my partners.
Yes.
Where we had a difficult time communicating. So tell me, where is this being used right now?
Right now, we are just in our very first B2C program that we have created. So right now, what we have created is specifically for individuals who live in the United States that are from India. So individuals who are working here, speaking on Zoom, working from home, having a difficult time communicating. So this allows for training at home if they want, where they can really work on improving their English pronunciation skills. So we certainly have big plans for expansion to other countries, but also to a B2B product where we're focusing on overseas call centers.
Thank you.
Hey, Julia, Clint here.
Hi,
So
Clint.
how do you see that transition going from the B2C kind of pilot work you're doing to that full-fledged B2B offering, and what's your time frame for that, you think?
Well, the good thing with the B2C is it was a really quick way for us to get in front of our customers quickly and learn from them. So that's what's really great about, and that's what we're doing right now. We're getting feedback from our initial beta users. That's just very valuable. So what we're looking at is a full launch in the upcoming weeks, and then looking at a round of funding, and then to create the software that's a bit more enterprise ready. So we want a comprehensive program that can utilize and focus on all different languages that are typically utilized in overseas call centers. So that's Latin America, India, and the Philippines. So once we have that created, then looking at hiring some salespeople with great experience in the BPO industry and going for it.
Cool, thanks.
Julia, I'm sure that my Siri would tell me that I would need to use Enunciate at times. But I have a quick question over here.
Yes.
As offering this as a program, is this going to be an ongoing, or is it going to be, X number of classes? How do you perceive this as a program that you're offering?
Yes. Well, the program that we have right now, it's very, very comprehensive. It has 3 levels of curriculum, 120 lessons. There are lessons from a speech pathologist. There is voice recognition, audio samples, and gamification. So what we're really focusing on is creating a program that gives an individual the same experience that they would have if they were working one-on-one with the individual speech pathologist. So right now, what we are selling right now is a comprehensive program. So once you get to the 3 levels, you get your certificate of completion, etc. But the plan is at our next level to have a tiered solution. So an individual, they just want to buy the one-time program, can do that. Or if they want to have a subscription, they can kind of join part of a community and have ongoing practice. So that's the thought process for the B2C, and then the B2B obviously would look a little bit different.
Awesome, thank you.
Julia, thank you so much. Congratulations. And I know that the year is ending, I think, on a higher note than it started. I know you had a lot that happened through the tornado and everything. So we're just glad to see you continuing to grow, Enunciate, and the impact is so clear from what will happen once you're up and running fully. So congratulations.
Thanks so much. Thanks for all the support, and thanks for all.
Oh my gosh, it's our pleasure, 100%. All right, I'm going to bring in our next panelist, George Livingston. George Livingston is the founder and CEO of Geode Events. He's also a serial entrepreneur here in town. So when George is ready, we will hand the mic over to him.
Thank you, Bryn, and the EC staff, and thank you, judges. Can everybody hear me?
Yeah, you're coming through loud and clear. Sounds great. Well, I said that, and then we couldn't hear you. Let's see. Oh, I think we might have lost George. Let's see. Great. He's back. George, you back?
I'm here.
Okay, perfect. There was something strange that happened. Okay, glad you're back. The floor is yours. You have a minute to share about Geode events. Take it away.
Thank you, Bryn and EC staff, and thank you, judges. My name is George. I'm the co-founder of Geode Events. Our software creates networking experiences at online events. So COVID has created a transformational shift, and companies in every industry are hosting online events. But networking, the most important part of many events, is very problematic in an online environment. So our solution, which is a web application, allows large groups up to 20,000 to create, join, and move between conversations in real time. Machine learning helps guests create even more meaningful connections. We've spent less than $15,000 to build our MVP, which we released last month. And since then, we've hosted our first events, brought on our first users and customers, and built our pipeline to over 150 potential customers. Corey and I have a combined 24 years of living in Nashville. We both went to school here. Now we're building businesses and building families here. Our entire engineering team is here, and that's what makes us Small Batch. Thank you.
George, fantastic. Really glad to have Geode here. And that's clearly an issue that a lot of us are having in this virtual world. So thank you so much for thinking of something that solves such an immediate issue. Judges, you have 2 minutes to ask George questions about Geode events.
Hey, George, it's Kimberly. How's it going?
Fine, thank you. How are you?
Good, good. I'm curious, it sounds like you just got started, but what has the success been like so far? What are some of the things you're seeing as some wins or some good things?
Well, we did just get started in terms of selling, although we've been writing code since about April. Overwhelmingly positive response in terms of what the software does. You've probably attended some virtual events or are here at one now, and the networking piece is still a real problem, a real pain point. And so people are delighted to find the software that we've built. Some of the first events have been in the real estate space. Just yesterday, we passed a technical review with an association management company that has several dozen clients that they're going to use the software for. And so a lot of nodding heads when I describe the problem to clients, and they're very interested to see the solution that we've built. So encouraging is how I would answer that question.
Great, thanks.
George, hey, this is Amy.
Hi, Amy.
I'm nodding my head as well. I've experienced some pretty awkward online networking this year. How does your platform differ from what we've currently been using?
So I'd ask a follow-up of what have you used?
Not much. I mean, some awkward Zoom chat rooms,
okay.
Things like that.
So the primary difference between Geode and Zoom is this idea of being able to take, from a guest's perspective, and move yourself in and out of conversations and begin conversations. The machine learning element to suggest people that you should meet at an event, that's something that's important, especially as the size of attendees gets much larger. And so really just the primary difference, a lot of it is how the product functions, the user interface being a lot easier to understand. So those are some of the primary differences between us and Zoom, for instance.
Hey, George, Clint, like the idea.
Thank you.
What's been the most surprising thing that you've learned in trying to mimic human behavior in a group setting in this virtual world? That's a great question. This idea of friction, when you're at an in-person event, there's some social friction, and about half of human communication is nonverbal. And in a virtual environment, you can get people jumping in, people jumping out of conversations that can interrupt the flow of conversations. And so in person, you have some natural friction, and online, you really take a lot of that away. So finding the right balance of creating friction, not too much, but the right amount to not interrupt the natural flow of conversations is a challenge. And I would say that's been one of the most interesting things to learn as far as how people use the product and what the product needs to do from a user's perspective. Yeah, that's interesting. Thank you.
Hey, George, I have a quick question. So
yes, thank you.
Geode events, do you use this as a platform by itself, or is this added to, let's say, Zoom? Let's say that we are having this conversation going on, and then we want to go ahead to another chat room and start talking. So is it used as a standalone platform or a tag on to other platforms?
I appreciate that question. It's a fantastic question. It would be in addition to other platforms. And let me just give a bit of nuance here. What a lot of customers think that they want is an all-in-one platform. And even the EC has used an all-in-one platform for events in the past. But what customers really want is a great event. These all-in-one platforms either do everything kind of mediocre, or they do some things well, like broadcasting, and other things poorly, like networking. And Zoom's a great example. Great broadcasting, non-existent networking capability. So the way that people use the software is in addition to other pieces of software. So they'll use Zoom for the sessions, or YouTube Live, or Vimeo, or dozens of other streaming platforms. And then for the networking between sessions or after, they'll use Geode. And maybe they'll use something different for registration. So the way people typically use the software is with 2 or 3 other pieces of software. And the analogy I use when I'm speaking to clients, some of them are event planners, it's just like an in-person event. You have a caterer, you have security, you have audio visual. You bring all these vendors together to make a great event. Same thing with online events. People are a little obsessed with the platforms right now, but what they really want is a great event. And what it really takes to make a great event is 2 or 3 pieces of software. And so ours would be used oftentimes in addition to a broadcasting software like Zoom.
Great, thank you.
You're welcome. And that's a great question. Thanks.
George, thank you so much. Thank you for telling us about Geode.
Appreciate the opportunity. Thank you all.
Absolutely. It's super rooted in this real world brands. Thank you so much, George. And thanks for building here in Nashville. We love to see it. We love to see it.
Yeah.
All right. We've got our first 5 pitches under our belt. Take a breath, audience. First 5 pitches are done. We have 5 more in just a second. While judges are working out their scores for those first 5, I thought we'd take a minute, a pause for the cause, if you will, and talk to Kimberly, who's on from Mitsubishi. So Kimberly, I was curious what went into the decision to move the Mitsubishi Motors North America headquarters to Franklin, to here to Middle Tennessee, and how much you were a part of that conversation, or how the Mitsubishi team shared that with their broader family when they were moving here.
Yeah, I mean, it's no surprise, you know, business is pretty dynamic. Our industry is fairly mature in terms of its phases. So, you know, we're looking at ways that we can be more cost conscientious about, you know, profitability, quality of life, all kinds of different things that are important for our employees, as well as our customers. And there was a short list, and Nashville was definitely on that, obviously. And I think really it was when our executive team made some trips out to the Middle Tennessee area. Some were familiar, some weren't. They fell in love with it. Just really felt welcome. When I first came out, when we were starting to recruit for the, what is it now, 150 or so employees now that we've hired in the local area out of our Franklin office, everyone is tremendously friendly and welcoming, and just been so amazing. So I think that was something that was really important to our staff, and to, you know, all that hiring that we had to do in a very short period of time. Within just a few months before COVID, we were ramping up so fast, and it just it was great to feel such a nice welcome from the local community. And that's something that we, you know, every week we talk about, working with the Entrepreneur Center, obviously, as well. You guys have been fabulous. Not that California where we were wasn't friendly as well, but it just takes it to a whole new level. Everyone is so gracious. And just what an impression that's left on everyone. I think it's been fantastic for the company and for the brand.
Well, y'all have been amazing to work with. I mean, we have a ton of partners, but when we get on calls, I feel like we usually talk at like 3:30 on a Friday, and everyone's in kind of different places, but y'all seem very authentically you, which is really refreshing, and also very Nashville, I feel, to just come to the table as yourself.
Yeah, I think it's a really good fit. You know, like I said, the brand is really in a pivotal moment. We have new products coming out. We have new things on the horizon. We are a small batch brand. We're a tiny little brand that if you shop for a car, you might wonder like, oh, is Mitsubishi still around? What are they up to? And I think in the next year or so, you'll see a lot coming from our brand. So the move was perfect to kind of accelerate a lot of that, I guess, new brand energy, and really expanding our footprint. So we're just super excited, because we've talked about how do we help an entrepreneurial community in general, much like we are to the automotive industry. We're kind of entrepreneurs trying to be scrappy and nimble and do things differently. It's been so great to work with you all, and just find there are so many entrepreneurs in Nashville. It's just so amazing. It's such a great community.
There's thousands of them. I think we heard not too long ago from the Chamber of Commerce that something like 24% of our economy can be tied back to an entrepreneurial endeavor. Which is, you know, really outsized for, I think, a lot of cities. And, you know, that's, people hire here, people grow here, folks like George, people want to grow something really meaningful that benefits them and their families and the community, but also something that feels uniquely tied to this place. So we're glad that y'all are here. We're so glad that you're growing with us. And I heard there's going to be a Jenny's in front of the Franklin headquarters.
Yeah, yes, there is. And it's awesome. I've already had my team had a little ice cream social there. So yeah, it's going to be dangerous for the waistline when we're all eventually back in the office, but that's okay. It's an easy campus to walk around, so it's all good.
And you'll be among all of us. I think this is the safe place to do whatever you need to do and to bring your COVID-19 to bear. So, well, we're really glad that you're here, and so thankful that you decided to organize something like this, because these are some teams that we've never gotten to work with before. So it's brought new people to the table for us. So we're grateful. All right.
Awesome.
Kimberly, thank you so much. And of course, the prize. And now to our final five. This feels like a critical moment. All right, here we go. All right, let's get our next panelist up. We have Amanda Latifi of Have to Have. Let me bring Amanda to the table. Amanda, are you out there, friend? Okay, she is a panelist now. I think I hear
Hello.
her. Amanda, hello. How are you feeling?
I'm good. How are you?
We're doing great. I'm sitting right next to Jeremy. So it's, you know, we are a gruesome twosome right now, planning everything and making things happen. So we're glad that you're here. And Amanda, we want to give you your minute to share about Have to Have. So I'm going to start the clock and you may begin now.
I'm starting a clock too. I've been known to go over. So I'm sure we've all gone into a store or even a car like Kimberly and left without buying something. I mean, pre-COVID, 90% of conversions happen in store. And even during all of this that we're going through, only 14.5% of conversions have moved online. So unless you buy something in store, retailers have no idea who you are, what you're thinking about buying, or how to bring you back. And this is a reality of knowing how to do that all online. Why can't we do that offline? So I'm Amanda Latifi. I'm the CEO and co-founder of Have to Have, and we unlock that missing offline data set in retail. So as a shopper, there's no way to say something you find in store. And shoppers have really manifested this behavior of taking pictures of price tags to find those items later online. So we're leveraging that behavior. Without an app, without hardware, without heavy integration, we capture offline shoppers, we collect the data, and we help convert those customers real time or later, even after they've left the store, with product specific text messaging. So the way it works is a shopper takes a picture of a price tag in store. They text it to a short code that we're operating for the retailer. We identify the item, add it to a list for the shopper that we're hosting on mobile web. We text the shopper a link to that list. When they click that link, it takes them to their list. If they click buy, it takes them directly to that item's product page on the retail decon site. Now the shopper will get a text message when that exact item goes on sale, driving them to purchase it. But now the retailer has all of that offline data. They can text them real time to drive a conversion or later about the exact item. We've developed an SMB strategy to help during COVID. We're high margin, no churn. We have been growing during COVID with our existing clients. I think I'm up for my minute. We're subscription and usage-based revenue model. Okay, done.
There's a lot to pack in. There's a lot to get in there in that 1 minute. Your elevator ride was to the 33rd floor. You just got a couple extra floors, but you earned it. All right, judges, you have 2 minutes to ask Amanda your questions. Take it away.
I answered everything.
Okay, so Amanda, that was a lot of information you gave us. So at least I'm still trying to process it. So basically what you're saying is that if there is a product that I see, I download an app. How does that taking a picture convert or connect with how I'm connected to the store or the retailer?
Yeah, it's a great question. And this is the problem in retail, is how do you connect offline to online? So what we've done is develop technology that doesn't make an app necessary. You take a picture of a price tag, like many people do already, and you text it to a short code that we're operating for the retailer. So you take a picture of a tag and you text it. What we do is we are reading it on our side, identifying the item, texting it back to you. So here's a picture of what you found and a link to your list where everything you found in store is essentially kept for you. When you click that link, we take you to your list and you can click buy and it takes you directly to that product page on the retailer's e-com site. So now we've connected the offline experience to the online experience.
So almost like a QR code, like when you scan a QR code.
Yes, and we actually leverage QR codes as well. But what we're doing is utilizing SMS for communication, and we're collecting that data real time for the retailer. So if you're in a store, take a picture of a tag and text it. The retailer captures that data. They can automate an offer to you that says like, hey, saw you were looking at the ivory wrap dress. It would look great on you. Here's 10% off today. So it's a product specific message to drive conversion.
Awesome. Thank you.
I should have used a car lot example to sway Kimberly. Hey, Clint.
Right. I'm imagining
That was my question.
in the store searching for tank tops, and part of why I like to take pictures of the details is to go shop other places, right? Sort of online, and see if there are better deals to be had. Do you find that there's enough interest for consumers, for customers, for that retail brand specifically to want to engage in that way? And then when you connect the offline to online data set, does it connect that customer record so that now if I've got my phone number, you know, from that in-store visit, and they've got other information on me, there's some way to connect those dots?
Yes, great question, Clint. I'm sure you look great in tank tops as well. So for a shopper, what we're able to almost do is kind of intersect them leaving, and that's why retailers are so interested. So keeping that purchase intent with the shopper of origin. So if you take a picture of a tag to save it, really starting to get that habitual behavior of understanding you make a real-time offer that drives that shopper to have the conversion there. If they do leave, we automate getting a sale alert on that exact item to bring them back to that retailer's page. So we're not hacking where we're taking the traffic from a retailer and driving it somewhere else. We're trying to maintain them within that shopping cycle. Your point about the data set is completely relevant. So once that phone number has been captured, we can also do a reverse lookup to find out more data for the retailer. It's really easy for us to partner with Shopify as well, because we're essentially creating a complete and holistic customer profile, and even able to understand this person shops in store, this person shops online, this is their lifetime average order value. So then now really being able to understand that this is a dedicated online shopper who actually has been coming in store and not buying, and now I can try to drive them in store as well, because I'm not sure if everyone knows, but there's typically a higher average order value in store and a higher UPT in store, because we're all kind of just acting on emotion. Whereas online, we're competitive, we're looking around, we're narrowing our cart down, we're trying to get that average order value down. So just a much stronger shopper in store that's not been able to be utilized in this manner before. Or car lot.
That makes sense.
I know, I was looking forward to the car lot.
Tank top purchase is an emotional purchase for sure, so that resonates with me.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Amanda, I have this problem all the time, especially when I go into a store and they don't have my size, and you walk out and you're kind of done. Does this also lead itself into inventory management?
That's a great question. So we've actually been having conversations even with Express, for instance. So we were supposed to be in a pilot with them pre-COVID, but things have been slowed down a little bit. This actually provides a contactless way for someone to understand inventory or colorway. So if I take a picture of a tag, we add it to the person's list, they could buy, it takes them directly to the e-com site. What happens once you're on the e-com site is you could be exposed to your size or even other colors. So like, oh, I didn't know they had this leather jacket in a cognac, and approach the sales associate to say like, hey, do you have this in storage? Do you have a size? So it's able to even prompt an inventory search without there having to be a sales associate involved, which is really impactful during COVID.
All right, Miss Amanda. So many questions. I think you had the most curious question asking of all the pitches, and there's a lot to unpack, and we love getting to work with you. So it's great to see you shine and get to talk about have to have, because I know you've made a significant progress this year. So excited to see you, and thank you so much for getting into the weeds with us. We have so many questions about back-end inventory, all these things that are crucial. You can tell you're solving problems by how the questions that is prompting us to ask. So thank you so much. And
thank you.
Thank you. And we'll talk to you really soon. All right, we've got our next panelist on deck, Naila Burnett. Naila, are you on the line, friend? Naila Burnett of Energy, Juice, and Yoga.
I am. Can you hear and see me all right?
I can hear you. Can you bring your camera down a smidge?
Sure can.
Perfect.
Is that good?
Wait, up a smidge. That's perfect. That's perfect. You're perfect. All right. It is your minute, Naila. Please tell us about Energy, Juice, and Yoga.
Okay. Within 7 months, Nashville has over 234,000 COVID cases, a count rising even as we enter flu season, schools reopen for in-person learning, and quarantine restrictions fluctuate. If you're like me, you're wondering, how do we slow the spread, protect our immune systems, and still go to work or send kids to school? How do we get back to normal and stay healthy? Our big idea is this: subscribe to a new normal, to take care of self first, then take care of business. Hi, my name is Naila Burnett. I am the founder of Energy Juice and Yoga, where we bottle small batches of wellness in the form of nutrient-dense cold-pressed juice. Over the last 6 months, our pioneering subscription-based juice delivery service has doubled our revenue since 2019 by delivering over 2,000 bottles of juice to teachers, essential personnel, and homemakers. This winter, we're opening our first of its kind storefront for in-store pickup, continued subscription deliveries, and to launch our highly anticipated Energy Yoga. We're pioneering Energy Vitality Zones, which are wellness pit stops across Nashville, serviced by cold-pressed juice vending machines and pop-up yoga sessions. And lastly, we're creating an app to help people check their wellness on the go, while also pre-ordering juice and streaming yoga sessions. Energy needs your help to safely reopen Nashville, stay energized, and to put wellness first. Thank you.
Naila, that was literally 1 minute. Unbelievable. Like 59 and 98 like 0.6 seconds. Wow, unbelievable. And so excited to hear more about Energy Juice and Yoga. I know you've made a lot of steps and progress this year. So I will leave it to our judges to ask questions. Judges, your 2 minutes to ask questions begin now.
Yeah, I'm going to jump in. It's Kimberly. How are you?
I am
I
well.
love the passion.
Thank you.
Bryn's talked about you before. I mean, I can see why you're doing so well. This is so great. And the timing is so great. So these wellness pop-ups, so I'm so curious. So how are you managing that? Like, what does that look like?
Yeah, so it's like the vending machine aspect of it is we've got these fresh food vending machines that allow for us to control point of sale, which enables for us to maintain liability of the product, but make sure that we can manage inventory, we can manage stock, and we can check who's visiting, who's purchasing the juice so that we can start direct marketing to those individuals. Simultaneously, the wellness space is meant to earmark across Nashville what we're calling vitality zones as a means for people to literally take a break, take a moment to take a walk and go get a juice, or if we're there doing wellness pop-up yoga, the opportunity to take 15 to 20 to 30 minutes to do yoga throughout the day, so that as people are trying to maintain some stability or some sense of norm, they've got stations to go to create that.
And how do you know which juice, going back to that, like which drink is right for you? Is there a formula? Yeah, how do you do that?
Absolutely. So over this summer, we've taken a lot of time to collect information on our customers, which juices they like the most, which ones do the best for different things. So if it's for weight loss or if it's for supporting the immune system, but we like to allow people to tell us what they like. We use forms to fill out through our website and also through just direct emails and direct conversations, and let people kind of tell us, what am I allergic to, or what do I prefer, or what is it that I'm most interested in, and what I like the most about juice. We do have general categories of juice, but then the idea of being able to go into the storefront enables us to personalize that experience a little bit more, where people can pre-order specific juices and not just have the general favorite.
Awesome. Cool.
Naila, I absolutely love your enthusiasm. It's very infectious. I have a quick question. Just tagging off what Kimberly was asking. What is the research foundation of coming up with these different recipes for these juices?
Yeah.
How do you figure out what is for energy, what is for immunity? Is this based on Ayurveda? What's the history behind this?
Yeah, so I've been juicing for the better part of 9 years, and a lot of this has been personal firsthand research. I'm also very avid about supporting nutritionists and reading and researching the work of nutritionists who have more of the experience in the background and actually saying, hey, actually oranges are really good for your immune system. Here's the proof behind it. So I allow the research of that to help me to support like the actual facts behind what ingredients are good for what. But then the other side of that is, how do I know these flavors mix together? I'm in the kitchen all the time and have been in the kitchen almost all the time for the last 9 years. I've done a lot of product testing over the last 9 years, ensuring that what I think is good actually tastes good to people when they taste the juice themselves. So for me, it's been both a combination of my own personal experience and the research that I've been doing over the years.
Thank you.
Naila, fantastic pitch. I don't know if you said at the top, but you are also a certified yogi, which I also think is just the coolest. So to have this cold pressed juice queen, yogi, I don't even know what to call it. You're kind of like a maven of wellness, like your energy. Yeah, you're a maven of wellness. Well, it's so good to see you, and we'll talk to you really soon. Thank you so much for answering our questions.
Thank you.
Thank you, Naila. I'm going to bring up our next pitcher. We have Jake Gideon. He is being promoted to panelist right now. Jake Gideon of Intrinsic Value LLC, talking about their application Hoplon.
Can everyone see me? Can you hear me?
We can see you. We can hear you. Looking great.
Okay, fantastic. Well, thank you all very much for having us. We really appreciate being here. Hoplon is the next gen 911 system. When Uber came to Nashville, I figured that this was a fantastic system, and I wanted to see how we could apply it to other industries. We've developed our proprietary software, allowing somebody to send their name, their number, and their precise location directly to the closest point of emergency or non-emergency dispatch. Once the dispatch receives this information, they can dispatch it to agents. Push notifications are sent to mobile users. So it is a all-encompassing system that increases communication, accountability, safety, and efficiency. We've taken this across the state, beta tested with multiple counties, and are in the process of rolling this application out into the city of Lawrenceburg. I think this application and the technology is something that could be worked very well in protecting Mitsubishi facilities. And I look forward to the opportunity to be considered to work with Mitsubishi to see how we can expand and push this technology further and make it even better.
Jake, thank you so much for telling us about Hoplon and intrinsic
You're
value.
welcome.
Definitely a very necessary tool in this world of, especially a world like Nashville, where we have so many transplants who don't necessarily know the right place to go if there were an emergency situation. So it seems very applicable to our town. All right, judges, you have 2 minutes to ask Jake questions.
Jake, I love the thought behind this. I think safety is paramount to all of us. I just wanted to get a better understanding of how does this work? I mean, is it, do you text? What is the logistical process of this working out? And then does this go ahead and connect with 911, or do you bypass that?
That's a very good question. So the way to understand Hoplon from the basic perspective is we work with geofences. All coverage areas are geofenced. The mobile app is a free download on iOS and Android. So if you download it as a Vanderbilt student, you're communicating with the Vanderbilt station. If you leave Vanderbilt and go into a non-covered area, the mobile app recognizes that it's outside of the fence and directs you to dial 911. Once you enter the next fence, the mobile app then alters the call functions to then mimic the call functions that are allowed by that station. We hold multiple patents on this technology. When I was 25, we got started on this, and I thought, well, I'm just going to replace 911, no big deal. But i3 Verticals, which is a company here in town, has been very helpful in guiding me and engaging with us. And their instructions were, don't try and charge the hill immediately. Let's take this slowly. So our first feature is called the flare, which is you can report power outage, car broken down, wild animal, severe thunderstorm. The alert system is coming later. So there's multiple tiers of this technology that are coming. But the basic principle is the geofences, mobile app to station application.
Awesome, thank you.
Hey, Jake, this is Clint.
Hey,
I like the idea. So I was going to ask, and you sort of headed it off at the pass first, of what kind of, if you have enough data to understand what kind of calls this is replacing, is it the extreme emergency situation, or is it, there's a wild animal, loose in the neighborhood? And it sounds like this is more toward that 861, 8600 sort of thing, where it's not, life-threatening necessarily, but it's all the other stuff that I want to at least report. Is that how it's working out so far, or is it still too early to tell?
Clint, that's the way that we intend to begin the process. One of our patents covers text, audio, and video dialing direct to a PSAP. So it would bypass the traditional 911 system. We've shown this to about a third of the 911 county directors in Tennessee, and they all absolutely love it. The question has been, how soon can you get it running? But from my perspective, I don't want to advertise and push something as a true replacement for 911 until I have the confidence that I can actually offer it. So what we want to do is get started slowly with the flares. Like I said, Lawrenceburg is bringing this on board. Belmont is going to begin the testing and implementation. The flares are very simple. The alerts are very simple. But our intention is to use the rest of this year to get 10 to 15 cities, schools, communities using this thing, and then take the information and the data that we gather to figure out what are the next features that need to come and how do we position ourselves each quarter to deliver on time, to have software that works, but also plan in a measured fashion on when we need to start building the next features. So the long-term goal is to provide a mobile solution to the legacy 911 system, which everyone is open to. But when you deal with, and I'm sure our friends at Mitsubishi are aware of this, dealing with government entities, when you start dealing with government entities, you want to have a good lay of the land and understand the people there. And it's better to work with them as a friend and to offer integrations to the existing services that they already have, rather than just saying, here's our service, take it or leave it.
Yeah. And also nice move weaving Mitsubishi into your pitch a couple of times. Smart.
Yeah.
Very smart.
Thank you very much.
Nice branding. I like it.
Well, we've done beta tests in Franklin County, and there is, I believe it's a Nissan facility in Franklin County. There's been nothing negative that's happened at that Nissan facility, but one of the things that the 911 board has discussed is the idea of geofencing the entire county, but also geofencing the specific large facilities down there. So if you have the instance where there's a problem and there's security on the facility, you can get help to that location much more quickly than waiting on county sheriff or police to arrive.
Jake, thank you so much for sharing about Hoplon
You're
and
welcome.
value more broadly, the kind of umbrella corporation there. And we love what you're building. I think this is something very necessary to the safety of all of us here in Middle Tennessee. So thank you so much for talking about it with us.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. I'm going to bring up our next presenter. This is our second to last one, y'all. It is flying by. We got our second to last presenter here. We've got Monica Smith of Pollyanne's Tea Cakes. Monica, are you out there?
Hi, I think I'm out here.
All right, let's wait for that video to populate. Might just take a second there. Let's see if folks can see you. Monica, it looks like your camera is on. There you are, perfect. Okay, all right. You've got 1 minute to tell us about Pollyanne's Tea Cakes. Please take it away.
Hi, I'm Polly, founder of Pollyanne's Tea Cakes. Southern tea cakes are the creation of resilient and resourceful Black women who were enslaved on Southern plantations. Women who were forced to make delicious foods for others that they nor their families could enjoy. So these women used what they had in their paltry pantries to make the Southern tea cake. And it's like nothing you've ever tasted. It has the flavor of a nuanced pound cake, the texture of a made from scratch biscuit, and as you can see, is the look of a large cookie. And cookies are all the rage. According to Dessert Trends 2020, consumers are eating desserts like 5 times a week, with cookies being the most popular. 48 of those surveyed said that they would pay more for a dessert that was comforting and nostalgic. So the problem we're solving is monotony in the dessert grab and go category. Because let's face it, you can find a chocolate chip cookie anywhere, but that's not the case with an authentic Southern tea cake. However, you soon will be able to get a Pollyanne's tea cake at the Nashville International Airport once they're fully operational again. But that's just the beginning for us, because with Mitsubishi's know-how and our time-tested product, we'll realize our vision of sharing the joy tea cakes have brought to generations of our family with generations of families all over the world. Pollyanne's Tea Cakes, a sweet Southern tradition.
Fantastic, fantastic. And I also really want to eat one of these tea cakes. It was painful to watch your pitch videos, and then to see you yesterday and not get to eat a tea cake. So I'm going to find where you are and I'm going to get one.
I'm surprised you haven't gotten them. I used to bring them by EC when times were a little different.
I mean, I missed the critical window for a tea cake, but I think it's coming. I think a new one is emerging. Okay. All right, judges.
They do look yummy.
They really do. 2 minutes to ask Dr.
Right?
questions.
So Monica,
sorry.
Yeah, go ahead, Kimberly.
Just a super quick question. So I love the small batch kind of story to all of this. So how do you tell the story? Do you have something on the, because it was a little hard to see, like on the cookie, how do you get across all the story that you just shared with us?
Is right here on the back of the packaging. It's a little different than what I told you about, because I talk about Granny, who is the matriarch of was the matriarch of our family. And in 1987, literally on her deathbed, Granny converted what had been an oral recipe miraculously from a pinch of this and a cup of that to from a pinch of this and a handful of that to teaspoons and cups. And she had her daughter record it, and she passed shortly thereafter. And at her funeral, her daughter gave me the index card. And so I started making them, and we talk a little bit about that on the back of our packaging.
Great story, thanks.
Monica, I have a couple of really quick questions. One is there only one flavor, or do you offer different flavors?
We do not want to sully the original tea cake, because we feel like if we started making flavors, it would be a cookie. So that's what makes it distinctive. However, we do make a gluten-free version of the tea cake, and we're working on a vegan version as well.
Oh, wow. That sounds amazing. What's the shelf life of the tea cakes?
2 weeks, because we use only farm to table and organic items, but you are able to freeze them and they last up to a month perfectly thawed out at room temperature.
And what does it cost for you to make it, and how much do you sell it for?
The cost of our ingredients range about 40 to 43 cents. We get into some real costs because we have to rent commercial grade kitchen space, commissary kitchen space. That, along with our packaging, puts us at a price point, well, cost of ingredients and everything else, at $2.40. And our B2b strategy, we sell on a 70-30 split with a local distributor for $5. We have an e-commerce site where we sell 6 for $24. And of course, we have a contract now, 2 contracts with the airport, where they are buying wholesale for $3.50. So that contract is worth about $200,000 to us annually.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome. Thank you for the questions.
I want to know, other than the airport, where can I get a tea cake?
Exactly. You can get it at the local distro. They are our local carrier right now. And then you can, of course, order them online. I don't know who asked that question, but if you give me your address, I'll be happy to send you some immediately.
This is Amy Tanksley. I'm a big fan of all things desserts. So
we might need to use the chat room to separately hook up later and
yeah, make sure our orders in, right?
Absolutely.
Well, Monica, thank you so much for answering all of our questions. And it sounds like you're really taking off. So congratulations on that growth. And I know this is a story that is literally generations in the making. So we are excited to see that happening for you and for your family and for us who get to enjoy it and taste it. So thank you so much for talking to us about it.
Thank you.
All right. And last but not least, certainly not least, we have Mel Taylor, who is on to tell us about Split Second. Mel, we have you listed as a panelist here, but we saw 2 Mels. So let's make sure we have the right Mel. This one's Mel Taylor, so I think this is the right one. But Mel, are you on?
I think so.
I think so too. All right, Mel, I'm going to hand the floor over to you. You may begin your minute now.
Thank you, and thank you for hanging on in there. I know it's been a long afternoon, so I really appreciate it. My name is Mel Taylor, and I'm here to tell you a bit about Split Second. Firstly, a scenario. So what happens when your aging parents or grandparents are driving and they get into a wreck, or they have early onset dementia and they get lost, or they break down? What happens, and how do we get them help as quickly as possible? Well, that's where Split Second comes in, because our device is simple. You can maybe see it here. It's affordable, and most importantly, it's portable. So this chap goes into the 12-volt outlet of any vehicle, and it's going to provide automatic crash detection and notification. And then at the press of this button, you would be connected to a 24/7 emergency call center. Now, what we've done is we've made sure that this technology does not need anything else in order to work. So within here, we've got an embedded global roaming SIM, we've got a gyroscopic accelerometer, backup battery, GPS, and on the back end, we also have a full platform with iOS and Android apps, so you can see exactly where your car is at any given time and also exactly where it's been. We've had some success. We've partnered with one of the top 5 PERS companies in the US, and they're currently selling approximately 50 devices each month into the senior market. We really think we would be ideal for the Small Batch Big Idea program with Mitsubishi, obviously with the automotive connection being there. But we've got so many opportunities, but we could really benefit from some guidance and knowledge and industry know-how. And maybe we can also help Mitsubishi. Mitsubishi has the Mitsubishi Connect program, but it's only in the Eclipse Cross. Maybe Split Second can help roll out that sort of feature set to the Outlander and the Mirage as well. Ultimately, what we want to do is to help every driver have peace of mind, regardless of what vehicle they're in. Thank you.
Mel, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Judges, you have 2 minutes to talk to Mel about Split Second.
All right, I'm going to jump in my category here. Okay. This is fantastic. I mean, our whole group, when we were listening to your initial pitch a few weeks ago, it was like, oh, this is something that's really intriguing for automotive. I'm curious though, like what R&D process did you have to go through? Because doing something like this in the US, making sure all those pieces, like you were saying, the SIM, connection to app, battery backup, all those kinds of things must have taken a lot of effort. So what did your R&D process kind of look like to make sure this thing actually really works in the real world?
Yeah, well, we did a lot. So basically this device here, and it's sort of listed on the bottom, it's PTCRB, CE certified, ROSE compliant, GE. We went through the whole gamut. We also went to one of the siren centers. There are about 8 siren centers who do all of the crash and safety testing for all brand new vehicles. We went up and partnered with them, and we actually did a thorough full crash test with a Toyota Yaris, and to make sure that all of the device was thoroughly tested. This is something we didn't want to bring something to market that wasn't going to be as robust as possible.
Great, thank you.
Hey Mel, it's Clint. How are you?
Hi.
Are you finding that most of your sales happen through dealers and sort of partners and those channels, or is it sort of direct to consumer? And is that a mix you're trying to manage one way or the other?
Yes, that's been a super big challenge for us. So originally we thought, well, we'll go B2C. This will be simple, but actually it's not simple because there is nothing else out there like Split Second, and we have a pretty red box that sits on a shelf. Nobody knows what it is. So to go B2C, there would have had to have been a huge marketing budget because it was an education as well as a sell. So that's when we pivoted and we said, we need partners. We need partners with distribution channels. So we've gone to the PERS market because the seniors are, seeing such a very natural fit for this product, but also it's parents with teenagers. We have a lot of parents with teenagers, new teen drivers. They're coming back from soccer practice late at night, and they love having Split Second in their cars. So we recognize for us to really scale as we needed to, we needed to go down the partner route.
Thanks.
Hey Mel, this is Amy Tanksley. This is incredible. I'm thinking of my grandmother who probably shouldn't be driving, but is. Does she need to do anything? Does she need to press a button, or does your Split Second device do all of that for her if she needs something?
Yeah, that's a great question. My mom's the same. I think a couple of things why I think this is so perfect for seniors. You take it out of the box and it plugs into the 12 volt. All right. And that's all that she would have to do if she were in a crash, and it's going to automatically call that call center. Her geolocation will be sent directly to 911. Someone will stay on the call with her. You talk through this and you hear through this. It's a cell phone, so it doesn't need anything else in order to work. We also put in a global roaming SIM. So if she was on a cell phone and with Sprint, well, oh dear, she's out of luck if she crashes in T-Mobile zone. So we made this global roaming SIM search for the strongest network to make sure that she would try and have access to help as quickly as possible. If she was not feeling well, she would simply press this button. There's a little button right here. There's a USB charger as well. And then that would trigger the whole process and she'd be in contact with the call center. And we're really keen when we look at the senior market, you know, it's going to balloon by 65% in the next 15 years. And people are going to have to age in place more. And when they age in place, they want to keep their independence. And when they keep their independence, they want to keep their keys. And as you say, sometimes they maybe are driving for longer than they should. So if we can help protect them, then that makes me very happy.
Thank you. Me too.
Yeah. Mel, thank you so much. This is so necessary and also a huge innovation. I love the R&D that's gone into this for you all to make sure that you're bringing something really safe to the marketplace and also something that's going to be easy to use at a really stressful time in your life. So congratulations, it's huge. And again, thanks for building it here in Nashville. I think it's helping us get our profile raised as a capital of innovation and what's the word I'm looking for? Innovation, period, full stop, innovation. All right, Mel, thank you so much for pitching. Thank you, judges, for your questions. Of course, absolutely, it's our pleasure. All right, everyone, it is time. We are nearing the end of our time together today. All right, just to recap, here's who we've had today. We've had Ready, Dress, Go, the new business solution for the woman who's just entering the workforce, a very early entry into the workforce with beautiful strength, the storytelling and photography mobile studio. Empower Local connects brands to hyper-local outlets, Enunciate, the language language learning and diction platform, Geode Events, the virtual event management platform, Have to Have, Retailer Extraordinaire to help retailers get to more customers and convert those in-person eyeball events into actual buy events, Energy Juice and Yoga, Cold Press Juicery and Yoga Studio, Intrinsic Value of Hoplon, that 911 emergency service new platform, Pollyanne's Tea Cakes, beautiful little tea cakes, not quite a cookie, not quite a biscuit, very much a historical dessert. And then Split Second, the platform that will allow you to plug directly into your car and help you get access to support and emergency services right when you need them. All right, now it's time for you to vote. I am going to trigger our poll. I'm going to launch this poll. Now you have a poll that should pop up on your screen right now where you can vote on your favorite, Go ahead and vote. And while that is happening, judges, I would love for you to submit your scores now that all 10 have gone. I'm going to stop my share here so our tabulators will be able to tabulate, which is very technical. I think tabulate's a real word. Tabulate what exactly shook out in terms of these pitches. Judges working on submitting those scores. Let's see how we're doing. It looks like they are getting entered right now. Thank you so much. We've got 3 judges complete and 1 additional going in. All right, while those are coming in and I'm getting those scores from our team, love to ask the judges some questions while we've got you here. So Manit, I'm curious how things have been going. I know since re-entry in the restaurant space, it looks really different state by state, even city by city, but I'm wondering what that's looked like for you in your kitchen.
It's been interesting. I think all of us are innovating as we go every day, and what is priority to us is the safety of our guests and our and our team members. So the biggest thing that we've learned is that there are no set plans, because we could plan something this morning and scrap the whole thing, and in the evening you're back to the drawing board. But it's been interesting. I think it just shows how resilient we are. And then in terms of creativity, we've started doing, in addition to the restaurants, we've started doing pop-ups. We've redesigned our menus so that the check averages make more sense. The pop-ups get more revenue. So yeah, I mean, it's constant.
It really is. And is there one restaurant right now that where you kind of tested this first, or was it pretty much across the board? You tried everything at all the restaurants across your portfolio?
We opened in stages. So Chauhan, which is the oldest and the most popular, we started with that first, only dinner service,
Mhm.
you know, few days, and then we went over to Mockingbird, Chartable. So it's just we did not open everything together. It was all phased out so that we also could be sane while we were trying to figure out what was going on.
I mean, I don't know how you manage that sort of brain space. You're always thinking, I mean, the primary thing is let's serve amazing food. And now, and of course, food safety is always a part of that, always will be. But I imagine it's led to some really interesting conversations for you and your team. What do you think are some of the lessons that you are taking from this moment that might carry with you as you kind of come out of this COVID restriction time?
I think one of the biggest thing, which I think each and every entrepreneur always has as their foundation, is never get comfortable. Never ever get comfortable that you are doing something right, or this year is going to be the best year, because something will happen. So always be ready and be resilient to look at plan B, C, D, or Z, whatever it takes.
Plan B, C, D, whatever it takes. I think that's exactly. Let's go ahead and write that down on page, 197 of the Entrepreneur Handbook. All right, tabulators, we have all of our scores in. Just going to give us a second here. Clint, I don't know if you see behind me, I have the in-flight banner. I was curious if you would tell us a little bit about your experience being an in-flight entrepreneur in residence while we get these scores figured out, and talking to our audience a little bit about that. Take it away.
Yeah, absolutely. Debbie Gordon, my good friend, and I have been, entrepreneurs in residence for the last couple of years for in-flight, and it's been great. And we get to meet great people like Julia and Amanda and a bunch of other really talented, really passionate folks. And so that's the best part. And we're really there just to be a sounding board for the founders, to provide access to just other networks of smart people that, know a whole lot more than we do about what folks are building in terms of businesses. And we're ultimately there to, keep Jeremy sort of reined in, the guy's a loose cannon, as you know.
I mean, he's notoriously awful. For anyone who's ever met Jeremy, he's basically a human Elmo. He's got that kind of goodness and kindness in him.
We're referred to as his handlers, really, more than anything, just to try to tamp down on the craziness, the wildness.
I'm curious.
We have.
Please, go ahead.
He makes it pretty fun, pretty entertaining. And Kimberly, thanks so much for making this happen and jumping in as you have with the EC. This is great.
Yeah, more to come. Thanks again to you judges. You guys are amazing. This was so much fun.
Yeah, y'all. I mean, the judges, I think, took it over the limit. This is also a really great group. Amy, last before I'm entering the little winners, I know the winners now, and I'm effusively. The lady, Kristen Wiig plays a character who's so excited and can't keep it together. That's me right now. Well, Amy, I did want to just hear a little bit about Uncle Classic. I was curious, as someone who has a husband who has extremely long hair right now because of the pandemic, which I'm into, but I'm curious how this has affected has this affected hairstyles? Has the pandemic affected what people like, not just how they look? I mean, we all know humans look great for this, but has it affected what people want?
The hairstyle of the year is the mullet. I mean, it's back, y'all. I mean, back in a big way. So, folks have just taken, COVID hair and made it sort of stylish COVID hair. We're having a lot of fun. And I think for us, we've always said, we provide haircuts, but we really take care of people. So that has become, very clear that going forward, what taking care of people, really means has changed. So we are embracing that, but I'm gonna let you know that Manit's advice about AB plans, A, B, C, D, and Z, that needs to go on the first page of the Entrepreneur Handbook, not the last page. You need to be very clear up front with folks what they're getting into.
That's so true. I mean, there's so many people who say if I'd known what it was going to be or what kind of life it was going to lead, I might not have done it. But thank God they don't tell you. It's kind of like having a kid. Like, no, if people told you the real gory details, I think we'd have a population issue. All right, we are ready to go. I'm thrilled. Here we go. Oh my goodness. Forgive me. I'm going to project my screen. I can't believe it's time. I'm going to start from this slide. And of course, I'm having a coughing fit right as it's time to present the winners. So Jeremy may have to step in for me here.
No COVID.
No COVID. I have been tested extensively. Okay, let's share the screen. I'm sorry, this is inadvertently building the tension. Not meant to be a vamp, but it happens to be an inadvertent vamp. Okay. As we mentioned, Ready, Dress, Go, Beautiful Strength, Empower Local, Enunciate, Geode Events, Have to Have, Energy, Juice, and Yoga, Intrinsic Value, Polyann's Tea Cakes, and Split Second. Top 5 are Beautiful Strength, Have to Have, Energy, Ready, Dress, Go, and Polyann's Tea Cakes. You 5 will be part of the Mitsubishi Small Batch Big Ideas Network for a year. Also, all female founders. Wow, way to show out. Way to show out, y'all. Unbelievable showing. And of course, we have a top winner. So let's find out who our top winner is. As a reminder, this person gets, in addition to being part of the Small Batch Big Ideas Network for a year, they also get a 6-month lease of the Mitsubishi Eclipse Cross, which looks like a spaceship. It's futuristic as all get out. It's dope. That winner is Monica Smith of Polyann's Tea Cakes. Congratulations, Polyann. Congratulations, congratulations. We are super excited to Polyann's Tea Cakes. Dr. Smith, super excited. And our audience favorite, they get a double up prize. Ready, Dress, Go. Our Vandy gals who just crushed and killed and are in class currently as we speak. And you win a $1,500 scholarship to the EC. In addition to being part of the Small Batch Big Ideas Network, I can't believe everyone's pitches, unbelievable pitches today. And just to reiterate a couple things, if you like this kind of vibe, seeing a smattering of ideas and getting into them, we have so many more pitch events. We are trying to bring them to people more and more and more, where you can just tune in and get a sense for this, even if you're a casual entrepreneur. So we've got Pitch for Good, Healthcare Edition coming up next month. If you have a healthcare innovation that is solving significant problem, we want to hear from you. We want to see your pitch. We have Project Music Showcase, if you're in the music space, happening on Thursday, October 29th. That is going to showcase all the entrepreneurs who are in Project Music currently, which is our cohort for 4 to 6. Oh, it's good. Okay, it is in the evening. Ignore this, 4 to 6 p.m. And then also, I should mention, we have 2 programs that are recruiting right now, Twin Day and In-Flight. See if I go this way. In-Flight is for startups and small businesses that are usually between 50 and 75K in revenue as a starting place, and they're trying to grow dramatically and quickly. We have some some In-Flight people here on the call with Have to Have and Energy. And then Twin Day is our program for entrepreneurs of color with an existing business who are scaling that business rapidly, who are between usually 10 and 50,000 in annual recurring revenue. So those programs are open right now. If you have any questions about them, you can reach out to us at the EC. We are so grateful to everyone who judged this call, judged these pitches, was part of the selection committee. Again, to Clint, Kimberly, Amy, Manit, we are so grateful for you all. It's amazing to have so many people that we can look up to in Nashville, and like people who've done amazing things, who are willing to get this close to the work and get their hands dirty and work with entrepreneurs and our kind of scrappy small businesses. We're so appreciative. And lastly, welcome to town. This is your debutante ball, Mitsubishi. You are officially here. Your debut has happened, and we're so glad. We're so glad that you chose Nashville and couldn't be more grateful. So to everyone out there, congratulations to everyone who pitched, and great job. So grateful to be part of this community with you all. Everyone enjoy your weekend. Be safe. It's going to be beautiful. And we will see you soon, whether it's virtually or in the EC building. We'll see you very soon. Bye, everyone. Take care. Oh, wait, if you're still on, I was instructed to get a video. I'm sorry, a photo.
Yeah.
Okay, if you're still on, really quickly, judges, let's see get a little grid here. Okay, judges, everyone wave. Perfect. That is perfect. All right, that's it, everyone. Everyone enjoy your afternoon. Everyone enjoy it. We will see you soon. Take care.
Bye. Thank you, guys.
Bye, guys. Thank you. So much fun. Take care.
So great. Great work, everyone. So good.
Jeremy, keep it under control, please.
There he is over here. Just being a goofy goober. Bye, judges. Thank you so much. Everyone was amazing. Thank you so much. Yes.